I'm Alma Lee. I'm a psychotherapist and transformative lifestyle resiliency coach and author, and I want to help you reach your goals by teaching you how to step outside of those fear-based mindsets and into your powerful, loving self. Let's get started. Happy New Year, 2024. It is 2024. Holy cow. Wow. We made it, guys. You're here. We made it. We have been gifted another day, another year, another brand new opportunity. What are you going to do with it? Aren't you excited? Aren't you excited to explore this part of your life, to see what you can do with it and how much you can grow? You know, as you know, in this world of therapy, we look at the things that are broken and we want to fix those things that are broken. But I also want to encourage you to not only heal, but to thrive. I don't want you to just survive. I want you to thrive out of survival mode. I don't want you to just be okay, but I want you to explore the boundless opportunities. I know it sounds, like cliche, but it's true. You have an innumerable amount of power and potential in this brand new year. And I want to inspire you to your greatness. And I would like to share a few of those ideas. I took some notes. I got my handy dandy notebook here. Took some notes this morning of things that I wanted to stay on track because, I get off track sometimes. But yeah, we made it. We made it. Pat yourself on the back. You got here. I know a lot of us have suffered and struggled, and we've had some things that we've regretted, mistakes made, failures. Oh my gosh, God forbid you failed. Oof. It's important to look at those things. It's important to think about those things, but don't stay there too long. All right. You got work to do. You have opportunities to take advantage of and to grow into and to evolve into. Just look at it this way. When you look back on 2023 and you look at those stumbling blocks, if you will, or even your failures or your missteps, look at them. Don't self-deprecate. Try to step out of that judgment of self and look at the lesson. What was that experience teaching you? The thing that you have shame attached to. What is it supposed to teach you? And then the lesson that you learn from that, I want you to take that and I want you to apply that into your purpose this year and push yourself further, evolving further than you ever have before in your life. There is so much monumental greatness, power, and potential that resides in each and every one of us. I mean that. I'm sitting here, and as these words are coming out of my mouth, I truly believe that. I see it every day in the wonderful human beings that I get to encounter along my way, along my path, and to hear people speak and open up to me. I'm so incredibly grateful and blessed even to be able to do this work and to share these notions with you as a challenge, as an inspiration, to motivate you, to get you unstuck, and to help you to move forward. So like I said, I took some notes here. And, like I said, I want you to, it's important to review. It's important to, to look back on those things that you're not proud of, the failures, the missteps. Okay, do it, but don't stay there. Number one. Now, what I want to focus on in this particular episode is the keys to your success. This is going to be your roadmap for 2024 if you will allow it, right? So if you choose to, these are my recommendations for having a successful year ahead. First thing you got to do when you wake up in the morning is, you have to decide that you're gonna do well. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're just going to experience your greatness however it shows up. Every single morning, I always challenge the universe in some shape, form, or fashion. Show me how good it can get. Show me what it is that I need to do in this life. What is it that I need to experience in order to propel me into my greatness? It sounds egotistical. I get that. But my greatness is in direct connection to my purpose, which is to serve humanity. So if I'm great, that means that I do a better job of serving those around me. So you bet your sweet butt that I'm going to do everything I can to be as great as Alma can possibly be. And that's where I challenge you to find your greatness too, because your greatness is completely intrinsically tied. It's enmeshed in your purpose toward humanity. We all have a purpose, and that purpose is to serve humanity in whatever talent function that you have, right? What is it that you do well that makes everyone's life a little bit better, that it inspires and motivates other people to have a better life? There's something that you do. There's something that you know. There's a talent within you that is trying to get out, that's trying to express itself, right? So just hang on to that first. So the keys to your success are a couple of notions that I want to share with you. Having a successful 2024. Your perspective is everything. The way that you choose to see the world, the way that you see yourself in the world, and the way that you experience the world around you is by choice. Whether you know this or not, you get to decide every day what your attitude is going to be. If you wake up in the morning and your back hurts, or you have a headache, or you feel tired, or you need more sleep, or you feel undervalued by the world around you, the people in your space, I want you to understand that all of those elements that you experience are by choice. Think about that. Let that marinate for just a second. It's not a blame thing. I'm not saying that it's your fault. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's your choice. You get to decide every day what your attitude is going to be. And if you do not choose an attitude of abundance and an attitude of gratitude, if you do not make a deliberate and an intentional effort to pay attention to the things that are in your space right here and now that you already have, if you do not spend the time and the effort and the energy to say, you know what, this is awesome. What I have right here and now. I'm not going to focus on the things that I want. I'm going to express gratitude for what I have. And I'm going to be in that moment. I'm going to be in that space. So your attitude about your future is key, because you cannot, nor can you won't be able to experience any type of joy or success if you don't believe that you deserve it, if you don't have the attitude that you are successful. So that's the first thing, is you've got to have the perspective of gratitude. You've got to choose to have the attitude that you are great, that you are successful, all right? That's number one. That's your attitude, your perspective. Number two, what is success? Everybody's idea of success is different. You can go online on social media, and I see it all the time, where people talk about wanting, these expensive cars and luxury items. And, I've done it. I've posted things that, they're really pretty. I love a glitter finish. I ain't even going to lie. I love well-crafted artisan clothing and bags and shoes and things like that. But that to me does not define me, nor does it's not a marker of my success. What is success? Well, for me, success is being an authentic human being and being self-aware and being honest with myself and other people, having a direction, having a sense of purpose that is in alignment to service of others. That to me, if I can achieve that every single day, even in the most minute way, in the most small fashion, if I can make someone smile, if I can get someone to shift their mindset ever so slightly into a different trajectory, that to me is success. So for me, success is not an all-encompassing lifetime ideal. I mean, overall, yes, I want to be known as a good person, but at the end of the day, that doesn't really matter. It's the impact that the work that I do now. I would like for this work, my recordings and the influence that I leave in this world, to follow me after I transition out of my meat suit. I think that is a definition of success for me, for sure. But success comes in these small little accomplishments day by day. And it's the expectation of that is what holds me in that place of accountability and authenticity in order to maintain that success. So what does success mean for you? Now, think about the things that make you happy, right? If you're not real sure what success is for you, you might be, You might be inclined to look outside of yourself for what success looks like. Well, your bank account could be a reflection of that, right? Well, I'm not here to tell you it's a good or a bad thing. That's not on me. If you feel like you need to have $1 million or $20 million in your bank account and that's your marker of success, then so be it. That's your marker of success. But what does it mean to you? At the end of the day, being successful has got to have personal meaning. So I would encourage you to sit down with a journal, do some meditation, talk to yourself, be clear, use discernment, and really just kind of connect with yourself on that. So find out, what is your idea of what success is? Because if you don't have an idea of you go on vacation, you know where you want to go on vacation, then you obviously know that you've got to get plane tickets or drive to get there, right? Same thing with success. Success is your destination. If you do not have a defined idea of that destination of success, any road's going to get you there. Any path will take you there. You will be more susceptible to the slings and arrows of life because you're not on a specific path that you've chosen in order to reach a specific destination of your own personal success, right? And if you're listening to this and you're feeling some type of way, or if you're feeling like, man, I haven't been doing that, please stop that. Stop that. It's January 1st. This is brand new. And you know what? If you're listening to this any other day of the year, this is the first time you're hearing it. It's brand new. It's always brand new. If this is the first time you're hearing this, it's always a brand new opportunity. It's always a beginning if you choose it, if you allow your perspective to be that. You get to choose every single day what your attitude is. So what's success for you? What does it look like? And how do you want to feel on the other end of that? So I got my notes here. Let's see. Well, some keys to all of this, right? And I want to touch on some sub topics to success, right? Me personally, I don't believe that you can be successful if you're not honest. If you're not honest with other people and you're not honest with yourself, first of all, if you're struggling with being honest with other people, you might want to dig underneath that a little bit. And are you being honest with yourself? Listen, keep in mind, this is not about judgment. We are all super inclined to dig into self-deprecation when we hear someone call attention to something that we are doing incorrectly, or we know that we're doing incorrectly. If you hear this and I say, well, you need to be honest, and immediately you have sort of a negative response to that, maybe, suspend your disbelief, maybe it's not a character flaw or failure on your part. But maybe it's a trauma response. Maybe if you are unable to be honest with other people or yourself, it's not so much a failure of your character or a moral failing or something wrong with you as much as it is your need to protect the wounded self. Think about that. Yeah, dig into that. I want you to stop beating yourself up. You can't do any of this work. You can't do any of this exploration of self if you are beating yourself up along the way. If you're telling yourself every time you learn a new lesson, man, if I had already known this, if I was a better person, yada, 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 that's not helpful. And it's not true. It's really not. Essentially, at the very basis of all of us, from a consciousness standpoint, we're all worthy. Every single one of us. Now, you can erode your worth through your behavior if you're being dishonest with other people, if you're being dishonest with yourself, if you're not being honorable to yourself, if you're not pouring into yourself. Again, it's all that unhealed garbage that we come into our adulthood with, the things that we experience. So when I tell you it's important to be honest, it's important to be an honest person, you have to start with yourself, because if you're not being honest with other people, chances are you're not able to be honest with yourself. And that starts with the clarity. That's where you have to sit in silence and really be aware of, a lot of people are struggling because it's that self-worth issue. It's the insecurity. It's the lack of confidence. It's feeling less than. It's feeling confused. It's feeling that there's no hope for anything else. But I'm here to tell you there is. And if you were to get a snapshot of the work that I do and the people that I work with, you would see why I feel so passionately about these attitudes and these mindsets the way I do, because I see it so often. It just clicks. Because I see people, I talk to people, we are all so much more alike and connected than what we realize. And if we open up to ourselves, if we stand in our own power, not only do you help repair the wounded self, the shadow self, but you also stand in your power for other people to do the same for themselves, which is essentially what I'm trying to do here, is to set a good example. So first, your attitude, your perspective, and then define what success is. You got to be honest. You got to be honest with other people. You got to be honest with yourself. You have to be clear with yourself. You have to use discernment. I had an interesting conversation with a lovely friend of mine a year or so ago when I asked her what was her most valuable attribute that she wanted to share. And she said, my ability to use discernment. And I can honestly say that it was the first time that I had actually sat with that notion to really consider, what is that? What does discernment mean? Think about it. Discernment is the ability to identify your own confidence and your ability to make decisions based upon your own observations. And a lot of us, we get lost in our own discernment because we don't have the self-confidence to decide whether or not we want to buy in or step outside of a situation. Think about it. Using discernment means trusting yourself. And if you trust yourself, that means you have to respect yourself. You have to have self-worth. You have to believe in your own intellect, have the self-confidence in order to do that. So discernment, that's an attribute that I think you should really focus on. I know that's something that this past year that I've worked on diligently, is to really shift that focus on my ability to make decisions based upon what I want and need in any given moment. And then there's an element of accountability with that, right? So when you use discernment and when you decide that you are going to participate or contribute with a particular idea or person or situation, then it falls back on me. I'm the accountable one because I'm the one that's deciding. So I think a lot of us kind of lose sight of that discernment element because we're so used to falling on the opinions of other people because we don't want to be accountable, because we don't trust ourselves. Yeah, it all ties together. All of this ties together. I want you to be successful, but you have to decide what success looks like for you. And in order to achieve success, you have to be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with other people. You have to have clarity. You have to have, the ability to sit with yourself. A lot of us are delusional. I'm just going to put it out there. A lot of us, we delude ourselves. Again, not a failure of character. It's not. When you hear the term delusional, God, he's so delusional, she's so delusional. Yeah, they probably are, but it's also a mechanism of survivability from trauma. It's a trauma response. Deluding oneself, think about it. Lying to yourself essentially is what it is. It's telling yourself something that's fictitious, that's a fantasy, which is not true. Saying that, everything is fine. You love this situation. You love these conditions. Everything is okay. Constantly lying to yourself is a form of, it's a survivor mentality. It keeps you safe because it creates the fantasy that you desire, as opposed to actually challenging you to push you outside, to get you outside of those conditions. So you just teach yourself how to accept it by kind of force feeding yourself, the BS. That's what delusions are. And we get stuck there. A lot of times we get stuck in our delusions. That keeps us from being honest with ourselves and other people. And then that keeps us from being clear. And then when we're not clear, we don't have an idea of what success is, let alone the ability or the inspiration to work towards it. It all ties together. I want you to find and graduate into your purpose. I want you to find the inspiration every morning that you wake up, despite how your body feels, to say, I love my life. I love me. I love this day. This day is going to be grand. This day is going to be spectacular. Universe, show me how good it can get. And when you ask and challenge the universe, show me how good it can get, keep in mind those challenges that happen throughout the day is the universe's way of pushing you outside of your comfort zone, because what? Comfort is the enemy to growth. You cannot grow if you remain in a comfortable space. You have to be challenged. You have to get uncomfortable in order to evolve, which is the next element towards your success. You have to evolve. Listen, I know I can look back on 2023 and I can think of a variety of different scenarios They just didn't work out. I tried to do something, it just didn't work. And I just decided to wash my hands of it. Um, Friendships, relationships, situations, a variety of different conditions that showed up. I put forth an effort. I saw that my effort was kind of falling to the side. And then I used discernment to decide whether or not I wanted to continue to invest my energy in that space. And then I chose not to. And then I just, learned my lesson and walked away. I evolved. I didn't quit. Quitting is giving up altogether. That's the only failure there is, by the way, is giving up altogether, quitting altogether. When you stop having a partnership, when you walk away from a friendship, when you walk away from people, you can absolutely send people away in love and not have anything to do with them. You can wish people well from afar. You don't have to allow people access to your time, your energy, your heart, all of your efforts, because you don't want to be a bad guy. Because in that space, you actually are being a bad guy to yourself, because you're not being a good steward of your own well-being in that case. So yeah, I look back on a variety of situations during 2023 where I had to evolve, grow, shift, move, but always keep moving forward. You can have that destination. You can have that definition of what success looks like. Absolutely. And then you have the roadmap. But you and I both have been on trips before where you get at a certain point in your journey and the road is closed. You can go no further on that path, but you still haven't made it to your destination. What do you have to do? You have to evolve. You have to make a different plans. Are you going to give up on your goal? I hope that you don't decide. I hope that you don't say, well, this is just where I'm going to stop. I'm just going to give up right here. I hope that you still maintain that goal, that identifier, that idea of what success is, and decide, okay, what's a different way I can achieve this? And then you evolve, you shift out of whatever condition you're in order to maintain that goal. And think about it this way in a business venture. If you've invested a lot of money in a particular venture that has not taken off, and you keep putting money into it and investing into it, and you're not seeing anything come out of it, that's discernment. That's an opportunity for you to sit down and say, do I want to continue investing in this? Do I want to sit here and wait for them to fix the road and stay on this road? Do I want to wait here, or do I want to find a different path? Do I want to, go back a few steps, lose some money, and step out of this path and move onward in a different fashion? Sometimes you're going to lose friends. Sometimes you're going to lose money. Sometimes you're going to lose time. That's a fact. You know that. But evolve. That is a key towards your accomplishments, towards your finding your success. What does success look like for you? The last thing that I want to mention here is this. You have to be able to accept critique from other people if you want to be successful. My ideas of how to do something are just mine, and I might achieve some degree of success by doing it all on my own. But I have a far greater chance of achieving my goals if I remain open to allow other people, especially people I trust, people who have made those accomplishments, people that I respect, people that I consider mentors, people that have gotten further along in life, who are farther along, who are at where I'm trying to go, to come and tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm open to that. I'm absolutely open to that. But a lot of people aren't. And a lot of people get stuck in life because they simply cannot withstand critique. They cannot answer questions. They cannot handle the truth. And oftentimes it becomes so filtered through a lens of trauma that has gone unhealed for the majority or all of their lives that they remain stuck. They feel like they're getting somewhere when in reality their wheels are just spinning in place. Like the engine's going, they're hitting the gas, but they're not moving forward because they can't accept critique. They can't answer questions, real hard truths. If I'm running a business, let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If I'm running a business and I open my business up for customers and guests, and I can't allow my guests to be honest with me about their experience within my company or whatever. I might have some success. That's true. I might. But my chances are far greater if I listen to my customer base. If my customers come in and say, well, we really wish you would put the tables up over here, or we really wish that you would decorate like this, or we really wish your hours would be this and this. We wish you would offer this service or that service. That is your opportunity to really reach your destination, your success goals a lot faster, because you're listening to the people that are going to benefit from what you're doing along the way. Because isn't that the reason that we have the goal of success to begin with? Is because we are supposed to be achieving our purpose, which is to be in service to our fellow man. I want to leave that with you. Be open to critique. Be open to constructive criticism. And sometimes be open to judgment. Be open to anger. Be open to frustration. A lot of times critique can be very judgmental and harsh. People are hurt, and when people, speak to you through the lens of being hurt, then that can be very difficult to listen to. Try and listen to the message underneath what they're saying to you. And I promise you there's value there. You can achieve your success at a faster pace. It's a benefit for everybody. You get reconnected, you validate. These are all wonderful tools to use towards achieving your goals in this year. 2024, I appreciate you so much. We've got a lot of great topics at hand. I've got a lot of ideas jangling around in my head. This has been a long episode. I have a lot of changes coming up. I'm going to announce really, really soon. And I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm so excited to be able to provide you with this platform. And I feel like as we move on and as I get your feedback and your critique, that it's only going to get better from here. So let's get to it, guys. 2024, Happy New Year. All right. From fear to love. This has been an LBM production. Please like, subscribe, and share this show. Thanks for listening.